Whoa. Yes, man. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to brand new stream, bro. Yeah. Listen, I've been trying to get on this stream for the past 45 minutes, bro. Literally. I've been trying to figure this out for the past 45 minutes. Just finished working out. I'm like, let me jump on the live stream and get some talking, some conversation on. Today I was listening to the PBD podcast. Actually, I listen to those guys all the time. Patrick Bet David. I like those guys. Honestly, I listen to the podcast all the time. So yeah, I was listening today, and they had a podcast that they did actually. I think they did it yesterday. The podcast was recorded yesterday, but a majority of the things in the podcast, and then they started talking about Candace Owens and how she's basically using Charlie Kirk's death to benefit herself. I told you guys from the first video, Candace Owens is a manipulator. She's a master manipulator, dude. I'm telling you, and I know this because I study people. I literally just started looking at Candace Owens' content, and just for the past couple of days, like I've been looking at her content, I realized something about this woman immediately, that she's a manipulator. Because the first video I did on Candace Owens is in regards to this tweet. She tweeted out this stuff, and this stuff started a bunch of controversy. This is what everybody's really talking about. This tweet right here. She posted this tweet on September 13th of 2025. In regards to Charlie Kirk's murder. And she said Charlie Kirk was fighting with some very powerful billionaires that he took money from over things he was discussing. So that statement and that video right now, that tweet has millions upon millions of people actually read that woman's tweet. And she's claiming like he was under pressure leading up to his unfortunate death. And she's putting the truth will be revealed, like the truth will come out. The message will be leaked, and the movement will build. The movement he built will rise up. So she put that tweet out there into the universe. And since I seen the tweet, and then I'm like, okay, the government said something else, that this gentleman was basically killed over his words and he offended certain people, and that's why possibly I'm gonna use allegedly. Allegedly, he ruffled some feathers based on the type of conversations and the speech that he was talking about and the things he was talking about. So that's what the federal government, the FBI, came out and say in regards to Charlie Kirk's murder, that they believe that he was unalived based on the words that he was speaking. Based on the things he was saying, that's the reason they believe, the feds, allegedly, I'm going to use allegedly, believe that's the reason why Charlie Kirk was unalived. So this woman came out with this tweet out of nowhere. Listen, I believe the feds. I believe the federal government. That's exactly what happened. And until I seen this tweet from Candace Owens, that's when he had me thinking. I'm like, okay, let me see this. I started looking into this woman and looking into like her relationship with Charlie Kirk, and then I found out through my investigation that they actually had a good friendship starting. Like they had a business friendship in 2018. They had some form of business friendship, business relationship going on from 2018. So when she came out with that tweet, I'm like, okay, she knows, she knows something that a lot of people don't know, because she had a good friendship with Charlie Kirk. That's what I was under that impression. With the tweet, And then me going back and looking at the history of her friendship with Charlie Kirk. So it led me to believe that they had a good friendship, business and personal. They had a good friendship, put it like that. So when I listened to the Patrick Bet David podcast, there was a gentleman that came on the podcast that said that there's an organization that Charlie Kirk was a part of, and that gentleman specifically, he's a part of that organization. He's like one of the big chairs in that organization, and he was asked when was the last time that he seen Candace Owens face to face, because she was a part of that organization until she quit. They didn't fire her. She actually walked away from the organization for whatever reason. He didn't disclose why she walked away, which I don't even care why she walked away, but she's no longer a part of that organization. So the gentleman was like, he haven't seen Candace around that organization in years. Like, he hasn't seen that woman face to face in years. So the next thing was like, how was Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk's friendship? Like, was they like had a good friendship leading up to his death? And the answer was no. The gentleman said to his acknowledgement that Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk wasn't really on that buddy friendship term. Like, they wasn't constantly having conversations. They wasn't constantly seeing each other. That's what his assumption of the relationship is. Like, leading up to his unfortunate death, that they didn't have that type of friendship. So with that tweet, you will have me thinking, people like me, like, okay, I want to know what's really going on. She's claiming the federal government, the FBI is lying. She's saying that the FBI is lying and people should not be listening to the FBI. But then this woman made an entire hour-long video, a live stream, talking about the federal government is liars. They're lying about everything. And I'm listening to this lady. I'm like, and nothing from the beginning to the end, to me, made sense. Because she's painting a picture of an agency being a liar. But yet, she's not coming up front with what she knows. So me knowing how human beings operate, I immediately started noticing this woman is a manipulator. And you could look up the definition of a manipulator. And Candace Owens is a master manipulator. Me listening to this woman, and after I read the tweet and started listening to her words and the way she speaks, and I'm like, this woman is a manipulator in every which way, shape, and form. Because she's telling you to doubt what someone else is saying. And she's going over an hour to try to convince you that what she's saying is correct. But yet she's saying stuff that she thinks is correct. But at the same time, she has no type of proof to prove that the federal government is lying. She's just making up a whole bunch of stuff, just going around and around and around. Oh, the FBI is lying. Oh, the FBI is lying. The federal government is lying. Okay. They're lying. So give the people that's watching you, the people that's following you, give them some evidence to make people think, okay, you know what? The federal government is lying. So tell me something that we don't know. Tell us something. She claimed in the tweet that this gentleman owed a bunch of rich people. So if you know all that information, tell us what you know. No, but that's how manipulative people act. A manipulator will do and say whatever it takes to get what they want. I'm telling you, I don't know this woman, Candace Owens. I just started looking at the content. But I could tell you from now, that woman, Candace Owens, is a master manipulator. Because she made a tweet stating that this gentleman owed a bunch of billionaires money. He was under stress. He was under pressure. Okay, that tweet got millions upon millions of people watched that tweet. Then she came up with a video on top of it. discrediting everything the federal government said. But still, to this day, she never put nothing up front. She never came up with no type of evidence on why the federal government statements are wrong. She never came up with nothing to show why the federal government statements are wrong. She came up with some bullshit timeline, or that's just manipulative talk. Or if this time at 12 o'clock, at this o'clock, all nonsense. This is just how master manipulators operates. And I'm telling you, the people that follow this woman, and she has a big following. She has a big following, dude. But listen, bro, I could swear on my life, that woman, Candace Owens, she's a manipulator. Because this is the type of people, manipulators don't care. They will do and say whatever it takes to get whatever they want. Bottom line, that woman could care less about the people that's actually watching her content. She don't care about the people who are watching her content, because at the end of the day, she's manipulating people's minds to think that she's correct and everybody else is incorrect. And then she claims she loves God. Listen, you cannot tell people truly you're a God-loving person when you're making and earning your living by manipulating people. Simple and plain. She is earning and making a living, and she's a mother. She has kids, so God bless her. I'm not talking bad about her and her family in no way, shape, or form. I'm just saying, if you claim that you're a godly person, that you love God, you should know manipulating people's brains, it's not something that God will allow us as his kids to do to each other. And that's what she does. She's a master manipulator, bro. You know, we're going to look at this video that, you know, the Patrick Bet David video, the podcast, PBD podcast, and you guys could check that out. You know, they do. I really like that podcast. One thing shocked me about Patrick Bet David the other day, that I sent an interview he did with this Charleston White guy. I was very disappointed in him, because after what this guy Charleston White said about Charlie Kirk and his kids and all of that stuff, like, this guy, I don't know why would he put somebody like that on his platform. But other than that, I think he does great work. I like the work he's doing with everybody else that's involved. You know, yeah. So we're gonna take a look at that interview that this lady actually did with that on the PBD podcast. We're gonna check this out, and then you tell me, what do you honestly think about this Candace Owens woman after this? After this right here, you're gonna tell me, dude. If you think like that woman is an honest woman, you got something else coming. Like, her honesty just comes from her brain. Because she's the type of person that, Candace Owens is the type of person that could care less about other people's way of life. If it's not benefiting her, she could care less. Candace Owens is one of those type of people, once again, that will do and say anything to get what she wants in life. I'm telling you, dude, she's one of those type of people that is willing to do and say anything, dude, to achieve her goal in anything that she's looking for, dude. And people like that is very, very, you have to be very careful. You have to be very cautious, you know, operating with people like that. There goes the PBD podcast that they was speaking in regards to this woman. And I'm going to bring it up to the part that the conversation started going in regards to Candace Owens. Where I think, damn. Was it? No, I think it was over our, is it right here? All right, I think it was from right here. That was a gentleman right there.
The scenario where Israel did it. Give me your opinion. Lay it all out. Just give me some. Charlie Kirk
I sent him a message. I told him, I said, listen, I don't know if you realize this. Without you, this doesn't happen. He says, well, I'm not doing it for recognition. I said, well, you need to take it because you played a massive role. And in everything, when something big happens, you played a massive role. He says, well, thank you for that. But to me, when you're asking what's going on here, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's, I think this is a pattern. I don't think this is a accidental thing. I think it's a pattern. And this reminds me of the 60s. This reminds me of the 60s. In the Army, they say, watch your six. They say, stay alert, stay alive, right? I think right now it's by the way, in Florida, it just became a license to carry.
Open carry.
Florida. Just,
good.
By the way, 2 days ago.
Yep.
Oh, I thought we had that.
You could just, you could.
And that law in Florida, it's actually a good law. In Florida always been a state that you could purchase a firearm legally and carry, but now you could open carry, meaning that wherever you at in the state of Florida, if you have the legitimate permits and paperwork, you could actually carry around your firearm on your person. Before that, you will have to have it concealed to carry it around. Now in Florida, you could actually have your firearm. You don't have to cover it up. You could have it, on your person. It could be visible to other people. And that law just recently passed in Florida. So I always thought that, in Florida is a commonwealth, like basically stand your ground state, which is good. You know what I mean? Like New York need to become a stand your ground state. Because I think the reason I said that, I think states like that where you stand your ground, people like me that doesn't look for no type of trouble, that doesn't look for no problems, no conflict with people, I think it will benefit people who just living their life, doing what's right, working, paying their taxes, creating, doing things to become better version of themselves. I think it's good. Laws like that, stand your ground, I think those are great laws. Yes, every state has the self-defense law, but still, self-defense, it's very hard sometimes to prove self-defense. Because if somebody comes to you and somebody physically hurts you in New York and you hurt, that you do something back to them and God forbid they passes away, you still have to go through you have to go through the entire system to prove yourself, to become proven guilty. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's a whole process you still have to go through for them to find you not guilty and all of that stuff. Like stand your ground state. Somebody come up to you and somebody physically hurt you in any way, shape, or form, you have the right to defend yourself. But it is what it is.
You can go to the restaurant, put your gun down and eat. And
Is that what they have in Texas?
I think it's
Idaho
like
has
open
it.
carry.
Open carry. It's a few
You
states
can wear
that have
like
it.
a holster and
Florida. And by the way, Rob just said something earlier. Rob said if this would have happened in Florida, he would have already been killed. Death sentence, because he says Florida's leading all states with, how many did you say, Rob? 30 plus?
They're going to have 30 by the end of the year. They're somewhere around 20-ish right now. But they have more deaths more inmates have been executed on death row this year in Florida than any other state in history of the United States of America.
DeSantis for you.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest difference here, you're talking about the 60s, you're talking about JFK specifically, is
This is a revolution, buddy.
Right.
Something's going on in America. This is not a normal time we're living in. They try to control us for COVID and they lost, but they lost on the public scale. Everybody handles loss in a different way. Some people can handle a loss. When they lost, and Obama, I'll never forget this, when Obama got on stage and he gave his speech and he tried to lecture those young black men. Remember that one time?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then Stephen A. and other people are like, dude, you don't talk to us like that. We think we're dumb. Mm-hmm. And then he lost. Then imagine the Democratic Party is saying, who is our savior today? Who can go campaign for anybody and win? You mean to tell me Obama couldn't campaign for Kamala, a black woman, California? You couldn't help her win? Where are we?
What he sees, I'm gonna tell you full of shit.
I'm not saying he's unbiased.
You said he's
not a real journalist.
He's a real journalist.
Okay, don't take my words for it. Look at his career.
I
don't know.
not question. He has
I
a
don't think he's
storied
a pundit.
career,
I
but
don't think he's a
there's
pundit.
no
He has a
chance
career.
when they go to him and say,
What
do
kind
you
of
got?
career does he have?
What do you got? He's a reporter in the field for 100 years.
I agree.
So when they go to him and
He's a
say,
journalist.
Matt, what do you see? Would you think what he says right after that is completely
I'm
unbiased?
trying to get the part where they start talking about.
How?
Let's go.
Towards the end of Charlie's career,
This is it right
his
here.
life, God rest his soul, was he getting a little bit more critical on Bibi and the actions of what he was doing? Yes. Was he on Megyn Kelly and had a long? He was pissed because he's like, people are calling me anti-Semite. I'm one of the biggest Israel support. He was not happy. Yes. Did this meeting happen in the Hamptons with Charlie and them? Yes. But what the people on our side that are saying Israel was behind it, please, and you guys all know I'm critical as hell of some of the actions that Israel does. Break it down to me what happened. So are they saying that
And this is the part where they're saying, okay, there is people, and I'm going to use allegedly because this people has a lot of money. These people have the power to come at me financially, and, so I'm going to use everything I'm going to say allegedly. So this is when they started bringing up people allegedly that's making those remarks stating that Charlie Kirk owed a couple of powerful people, billionaires. He owed a couple of billionaires. And the billionaires allegedly that he owed was Jewish billionaires. So there's people that's trying to paint a picture, allegedly claiming that this man, the Jewish state, that the Jewish people that he was dealing with has something to do with his death. But yet, to this day, this man been passed away over a week already. To this day, right now, I'm recording this. Nobody has came up with no type of proof that the gentleman that on alive Charlie Kirk, the gentleman that was on that roof, has any type of connections to any type of Jews, any type of anybody from Israel. Nobody yet. And then you have to remember in Candace Owens' first tweet, she claimed that the truth eventually is going to come out. That's just a manipulator being manipulative. That's all she's about. She's claiming that, the truth, okay, it's been over a week. Tell us what you know. You're claiming in a tweet that this gentleman owed a bunch of people money. There is something else that's behind his death, and the federal government is lying. So this is why he's saying, okay, show some type of proof that the Jewish state or the Jews are behind Charlie Kirk's death. Simple and plain. And the people that's painting the picture stating that the billionaires that he owed was all Jewish and they have something to do with it. Show some proof that anybody had something to do with this man's murder. And the people that's quoting federal government liars, show something. Show something that we could be like, okay, yes, you know what? This actually makes sense. But if you're just criticizing an organization that they're lying with actually nothing to show for it, you're not showing no type of proof of why they're lying other than some nonsense timeline. All that timeline stuff that woman Candace Owens, she's just a manipulator, bro.
Israel, this is where it gets freaking insane. Israel went to Tyler and had him shoot and kill Charlie, have the boy like, give me the scenario where Israel did it. Give me your opinion. Lay it all out. Just give me some facts. Because now it's getting to the point where it's like, Israel. It's like you're losing the argument in that sense. Because give it to me. Because can we just be honest? What the people that are saying that Israel pissed off, Bibi was mad and all that stuff. So how did they do it? Explain to me. How did they convince a 22-year-old white boy who's dating a freaking furry to go on a roof and shoot this guy? What? Because they're like, yeah, we'll take care of your family. Give me an explanation. Does anybody have?
I feel the same way. Exactly what he's saying, the exact way he's expressing himself. It's frustrating when you hear people come out and say, okay, the agency that brought out what really happened to this gentleman, they're lying. It's easy to call someone a liar. But when you're calling an entire agency, the FBI, it's a federal agency of the United States, one of the most powerful agency in the United States. Well, not more powerful than the CIA, but second to the CIA. The FBI is very powerful organization. And when they came out stating what happened, what they figured happened to Charlie Kirk, you coming out saying that, okay, they're lying. It's very easy to call someone a liar. But when you're calling someone a liar without any type of evidence to back up your theory of why they're lying, it makes you look terrible. Like you coming out with tweets that has tens of millions of people watching this tweet stating that the truth is eventually going to come out and his organization, blah, 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 blah. But yet all you had is some nonsense about some timeline. Oh, this timeline doesn't add up. This doesn't. What you talking about? Why it doesn't add up? It don't add up to you because you're a manipulator. And it doesn't add up to you because you just got those fake timelines to manipulate the people that watches you. And this is to Candace Owens. She just got those fake timelines to manipulate the people that actually watches her. And millions of people watches this lady. But yet, a week later, she has no type of evidence, no type of proof on who those billionaires are, on what's the connection between the guy that killed Charlie Kirk to Israel. What's the connection? Where is the connection? How was these people connected to the guy that actually took Charlie Kirk's life? A week later, still, nobody has those answers. So how you're saying the federal government is liars? It's easy to call someone a liar. It's very easy to say someone else is a liar. But yet, without any type of evidence and proof why they're a liar, other than the nonsense timeline, makes no sense, dude.
I'm being dead serious. I don't know how. What'd you do? Brainwash him to go? Yeah, I'll go kill this guy. I'm completely lost in that sense. Because if that's what you're saying, you're saying, hey, he was really pissed at the end. BB and them were mad, so they had him killed. Show me the plan. Lay it out, because I'm all ears.
Well, here's what Dave Smith had to say. I think, Adam, you send this clip in the group, Rob, if you want to play this clip on what Dave had to say.
But I see him out there, and I've seen a bunch of other people doing this, but it's just like, if you want to go look through it, I mean, it's just crazy, but he had this post about how Israel did this. Israel just
Talking about
Charlie
Ian
Kirk.
Carroll, I believe.
And you know me, I don't know.
Co-host Candace's show sometimes.
Biggest fan of Israel, but I literally just replied and I went, what evidence
Yeah,
do we
exactly.
have that Israel was involved?
Exactly. Show it to me.
And the gentleman he's referring to is also part of Candace Owens. I'm going to use allegedly. Because this lady, once again, she has money. She's a liar. She's a manipulator. So it's easy for her to manipulate people around her mind. She's very good at manipulating people's minds. So I'm going to just use allegedly. Allegedly, the gentleman that he's referring to that's making those claims that Israel has something to do with it, he also works, allegedly he works with Candace Owens. He also co-hosts on her live streams, and they work together. Allegedly, they works together. They work hand in hand. So their circle is associating their circle is associating Charlie Kirk's death to Israel. That's what this gentleman is referring to. The people that's allegedly around Candace Owens.
And I mean, man, if you want to be disturbed, go look through the replies to that. It is unbelievable how people put together theory. You know, they're like, what evidence do you have? By the way, the answer is none. We have absolutely no evidence. There's absolutely no reason to even suspect that is the case, let alone to determine that it's a fact. And all the things people are posting, it's just like, guys, Jesus Christ, man, I'm sorry. I just don't go for sloppy, kooky theories. If you got some evidence, bring it to me, and I'll be the first one to look into it. But then people going he was waking up to Israel. Dude, he said release the Epstein files, and he once on an interview said the pro-Israel people are getting a little too crazy when they're accusing even me of being anti-Israel. But that's about it. And to his credit, he defended having me at the thing and having Tucker and Megan there and stuff. But you've just got no real theory here, and it just makes no sense at all. They telling me the government of Israel took out their #1 guy who still had influence amongst young people. I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
And by the way, while this is going on, Dave Smith sounds
Critical.
very reasonable on what he's saying, right? Again, reason versus emotion. But if you look at this one, this is AF Post. They said, according to multiple reports, Israel Prime Minister offered Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, $150 million in cash to adopt an even more pro-Israel stance. Kirk refused the money. If you go a little bit lower, look at the amount of views this thing got. 7.2 million views, 160,000 likes.
Who's the
And then there's
AF
another post, Rob, if you can pull up the other one that says, right below it,
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
that says,
That is truly insane. That a country as powerful and has so much influence on the world as Israel does will offer a gentleman $150 million. It's just so many of those things out there that's trying to bring this all together, this theory together, that this man was somehow connected to Israel and to the billionaires in Israel that was willing to give him boatloads of money to keep basically fighting for Israel, to keep promoting Israel. You know, that's like, listen, politics is crazy, and I'm not really into politics, but me doing this type of content, people will think I'm into politics. No, I'm a godly person, bro. You know, and I'm just trying to figure out what's the truth about this gentleman's death. And one thing I could know from me looking into this content, Candace Owens is a manipulator. She's a master manipulator, dude. The people that surround this woman is already brainwashed. She got everybody around her brainwashed because that's what manipulators does. The people around them, eventually they're going to get them to trust them on limit. They're going to get the people around them super duper. They're going to manipulate their brain so much in the fact that they're going to have them, whatever they say, everybody around them going to be like, yes, you're right. Regardless if they know 100% these people are wrong. That's what manipulators does to people. And when you're around manipulative people for a long period of time, that's what happens to you. Eventually, everything that comes out their mouth, your brain automatically thinks that they're right. To the people that watches and listen to Candace Owens, be very careful. That lady is a manipulator, bro. I'm telling you. You can look up the definition of manipulators. This woman is a master at manipulating people's minds. She will tell you something for 2 hours to spin an entire story and then to get you to believe what she's saying. She will spin a story for 2 hours and tell you why this story that you're listening to is wrong. The story you're listening to is 100% wrong. She will tell you for 2 hours. She will do and say things to manipulate your brain. And then at the end of everything, she still don't have the honest, concrete truth on what she's spinning the story about. But yet, she wants you to believe her, that her story and what she's saying is right. I'm telling you, bro, if you guys don't know about, about manipulative people, Candace Owens is a master at manipulation. 100%, dude.
The journalist behind the report accusing Bibi of offering $150 million is Max Blumenthal, a man who used to work for the Iran-backed newspaper Al Akhbar in Beirut and contributed to Al Jazeera. Why is it every time we track down a lie, we end up finding people connected to Qatar or Iran behind it? So this is why you're hearing both sides of the story. Adam, what do you want to say about this story?
Well, look, when Dave Smith is calling you out for being anti-Israel, you probably have a problem, Candace, Ian Carroll, because that Dave, who we've known for a while, has made his name over the last year criticizing Israel. In fact, at Turning Point USA, when Charlie was hosting the debate between Dave Smith and the other gentleman, he asked him point blank, is Israel an ally of the United States? Dave Smith said no. So that's where Dave Smith is, who happens to be Jewish. But here's a couple different thoughts here. Candace is a shock jock, and she is such a good one, man. She is such a good one. So, were Candace and Charlie friends? Yeah, they were. I challenge anybody, please help me out here. Show me one picture, one podcast, one evidence that they've even been in the same room in the last...
Candace Owens is not a shock jock. I mean, he's saying that she says stuff that actually shocks people. And no, Candace Owens is a manipulator. Candace Owens takes stories and spin the stories to get people to believe what she's saying. She's not a shock jock. He's saying that she says stuff that really shocks people and get people to think. No, she says she take a story, she spins that story, and she convinces people to believe what she's saying is true and everybody else is false. Whatever everybody else is saying is false. No, that's not a shock jock. That's a manipulator. Literally, straight like that. She's a master manipulator, dude.
It's 2 years. The last thing I found, the last time they did anything was on October 3rd, 2023. Ironically, a couple days before October 7th. Show me any evidence that they've been in touch, they've been in dialogue, they've done anything together. I would love to see it. So they were friends. I don't think they are friends. I think that Candace is capitalizing on Charlie's death. I think she feels horrible. She doesn't feel good about this. But Candace is an opportunist. And if we know anything about
100%. For what I could see for the past couple of days looking into this lady's content, she's 100% opportunist, bro. She does not care. That woman is the type of people that do not care about other people. She don't care. It's all about what she could gain out of everything. That's what manipulative people does. She don't give a crap about other people's feelings. She don't give a crap about other people's liking. She doesn't care. She will do and say whatever it takes to accomplish what she wants. That's who that woman, and I'm telling you, I don't even know that woman, but me looking into this lady, that's all I could see. She's a manipulator. She doesn't really care about people because she claimed, oh, I love God, I this and that. Lady, you're manipulating people's minds to get what you need. You're taking stories and you're twisting the stories around, calling out other agencies. They're saying they're lying, but yet the agencies that you're calling out stating that they're lying, you have no proof. You and the people around you that's claiming that Israel has something to do with, I'm going to use allegedly again. You and the people around you that's allegedly claiming that Israel has something to do with this man's death, prove it. No, she will never prove it. It will be a whole year from now and she's going to keep talking about this situation, but guess she will never have concrete evidence to prove or back up her words because she's a manipulator. She's just going to continue the story and she's going to continue building. She's going to continue building on that story. But everything she's going to continue building on is to tell people, it's to convince people that the federal government are lying. And there's people that's following this lady that really thinks that her words is true. She will say whatever it takes to get what she wants. That's the type of person that woman is. She will say and do anything. She will manipulate anybody's mind because she's a master at it. But be careful with Candace Owens, bro.
About Candace, over the last couple of years, has she been biased, non-biased towards Israel? In my mind, she's been blind with rage. So, there's people that you cut out of your life. Yeah, we're not, like how many people that you used to drink with, you're like, dude, I can't hang out with you anymore.
The majority of the people, because that's all we had. All we had in common was drinking.
But you still had friends.
Of course, I still have friends.
We kept Adam though.
But
I did.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
But you kept. Thank you for that, Pat.
Yeah.
You still love them. You still care about them.
1,000%.
You just don't hang out with
them. We just have nothing in common right now.
Bingo. That's Candace and Charlie.
But that was early though, right? Right. So they started
10 years ago, 5 years ago. They were friends.
Force.
Show me evidence that they're still friends. Hold on, Eric. Hold on. If you want evidence, actual receipts, actual, not opinions.
And yes, they did have a business friendship back in 2018. I looked it up. They did have some type of friendship, business friendship, because she was a part of his organization. Until she just left the organization. So they did have some form of business friendship. But what he's trying to say is that leading up to Charlie Kirk's death, there is no proof that this man had anything to do with Candace Owens. Like, yes, probably they probably had a conversation once in a while through someone else, but his thing is that, okay, tell me and show me proof that this woman is tweeting stating that Charlie Kirk owed a bunch of billionaires money, a bunch of powerful people. He owed a bunch of powerful people, right? She didn't put money, that he owed a bunch of powerful people, and he was under super amount of pressure leading up to his death. So she's tweeting, making that tweet. She's trying to convince people that that's a type of tweet that somebody who has inside information will know. So he's saying that for her to make that type of statement, she had to know Charlie on a personal level. But now we're going to realize that this lady has not had a friendship. She had not had an actual friendship with Charlie Kirk for months leading up to his death. So that's how you know this lady. She just takes stories and she just spins the stories to what she wants to. She spins the stories for her audience and for the people that follow her to believe her version of the story, which she has nothing to back up her version of the story. What's the proof you have that this man was in like what proof she has to show that this man owed anybody? What proof do you have to show that this man was under pressure from anybody? She has no proof. So she's just taking a story and spinning it to make it the way she wants. So her people, her audience, and her followers could basically be like, you know what? Yeah, let me start thinking. But in reality, this lady is just manipulating people's minds. That's all she's doing. She's manipulating people's minds to believe that what she's saying is right. The government is liars. Bro, be careful with Candace Owens, dude. She's a manipulator, bro.
Not, I feel, actual receipts. Well, Bill Ackman brought receipts. But what about Andrew Colvin? Andrew Colvin, who we all know, is the executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show. Look at his post on X. To sum that up, he basically said, yeah, Candace is lying. He basically said, Bill Ackman...
When did he say that?
Look at his tweets right now.
This is the thinnest armor ever. Introducing hyper-concealable armor.
They said Bill and Charlie were cordial, they're friendly, there was no conflict.
Yeah.
We were in the room the entire time.
Did he say that?
Yeah, straight up. Fact check me on this. So at some point, we're going to have to acknowledge something about Candace.
There we go.
There we go.
Can you read this? I've been asked by Bill Ackman more times. I'm surprised of traveling Charlie Kirk to find out what's the truth. But his team was with him 100% of the time when he wasn't in hotel room. Here's what they told me. Bill never yelled at Charlie, never pressed him on BB, never gave him a list of Charlie's offenses against Israel. There was concern raised about having Tucker at SAS, what is that? SAS, what is
Student
it?
Action
Student
Summit.
Action Summit.
We don't
It's
have
like
time.
a
Charlie's
TV.
reply was, honestly, people telling me not to have Tucker makes me want to have Tucker, and I'm going to lock him in for AmFest 2. Charlie personally told me he had a very cordial relationship with Bill, and the event was productive. Those are the facts.
Okay, so that's subtly saying, Candace, you have no idea what you're talking about. Can we agree upon that? So, at what point are we going to say, well, maybe Candace just is completely unbiased here? So there's justified criticism of Israel, sure. There's
Biased or unbiased? Biased. You meant to say biased.
You're saying she's biased towards Israel.
or against Israel.
Oh, okay.
Well, is that fair to say?
You're being biased.
Yes. Okay, so there's justified criticism, there's unjustified criticism, there's lies and deception, and then there's just outright hate. I would ask you, what category is Candace in regarding Israel? I don't know if she outright hates Israel, outright hates Jews. I'm not there. But is her criticism completely justified? Is it completely unbiased? Or is she using lies and deception here? Last point here. You offered Tucker $100 million to join Valuetainment. True or false?
Yes.
Did you post it on Twitter at the time?
We posted, we went to his place, we sent the guy to his place to make the offer.
So there was a formal offer and a formal contract.
Documented.
If someone's going to offer Charlie Kirk $150 million, don't you think there's going to be a public statement?
100%. It's going to be some type of paperwork trail. There is no way you're going to just offer anybody $150 million without any type of paper trail behind it. It makes no sense. So that's when I was saying that the people who came up with that nonsense about this gentleman was offered $150 million by the Israel government. That's just all nonsense. That's just people that's just making up stories, once again trying to spin negativity into the world. That's all this is. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making this video because I'm into the whole politics and Israel and Palestine. No, I'm not into none of that stuff. I'm just trying to figure out what really happened to Charlie Kirk. And me looking into this story, and it all started for me with the tweet this woman made. Candace Owens. This is what started for me. The tweet that she made it after this man passed away. That's when I started looking into who is Candace Owens, what does she do, and what does she know. And that's when I started watching I started looking into her stuff, and I started realizing this woman, she done make a lot of content. She done made a lot of videos about a lot of people. And then I started thinking, I'm like, okay, this woman, she takes stories and she spins them. She basically spins them to what she wants the story to be, not the true story. She takes stories, and it's not about her finding out the actual truth. It's just she takes stories and spin those stories to what she wants her audience and her followers to believe. She doesn't care, in her mind as a manipulator. She doesn't care if the stories are real. She don't care. All she's thinking is just for me to convince millions of people what I'm saying is true. So I'm going to keep making money. That's all she care about. And manipulative people, that's all they care about. It's not about the truth to them. It's not about, let me be honest and get to the bottom of this. I like these people, I don't like. No, that woman don't give a crap about nobody. It's not about liking and loving. That woman is just whatever. She'll do and say whatever it takes to get what she wants. And that's the financial freedom that she gets of doing what she is doing. God bless her. I'm not making this video hating on this ladies. Get your money, do whatever you got to do. But at the end of the day, as you claim that you're a God-loving person, every single thing that we do as human beings, every single step we make in the wrong direction to accomplish our goals in life, every step that we make in the wrong direction to accomplish our goals, please listen to me. We all have to answer to God at the end of the day. Sooner or later, people like that who manipulate others without having any type of care in their heart towards mankind or humanity in general. Candace Owens, just to me, looking at this woman, I don't think this woman has any type of heart towards humanity at all. I just honestly think that lady will say and do whatever it takes to accomplish her goals. Anything that she wants to take and spin, she will take it and spin, especially things that's trending, things that's really been talked about. She will take it and put her own spin on the stories just to convince her millions of people that's following her, to convince them her version of the story is right. When she know in the back of her mind, she don't even care if the story is right or wrong. She just wants to convince the people that watches and follows her that she's right. That's all she has to do, to convince those people. But at the end of the day, you're ruining people's lives because you're manipulating people's brains with things that's not true. You're manipulating people's brains to think that you honestly care. That lady don't have a caring bone in her body towards other people. I'm telling you, man. And I've just started looking at this lady's content, bro. I'm telling you, bro, I studied the behavior of human beings for years. And just me looking at this lady's stuff after that tweet, I'm telling you guys, generally, and this is not no hate towards nobody. I'm just being honest for what I could see with Candace Owens. That honestly, I honestly think that she's a master manipulator. 100%, dude. I could be wrong if you think I'm wrong, but I know in my heart, viewing what I view of that lady, viewing her stories, viewing her content, she comes across as one of the most intelligent manipulators that I ever seen in a long time. Because she's very intelligent. Gotta be careful, bro.
A contract, a tweet. Is it just, yo, buddy, you want 150 million? Come on our team. To me, it's nonsensical unless you show receipts. Candace, to her credit, showed a lot of receipts with Macron's wife's penis, whatever that is. She did an entire documentary. In my opinion, she took a year out of her life, and I'm not joking, to find his penis. I don't know where that is right now. But at what point is Candace going to say, you know what? I actually don't have any receipts whatsoever. I'm just stoking the flame and making a name for myself with my former friend's death. Because I see zero evidence that they're even still friends. And now you have the executive producer of Charlie Kirk's podcast, Andrew Colvin, basically saying, yeah, Candace is not telling the truth. Point blank.
Eric, you were going to say something?
Well, I was just going to say, I was going to agree with you, Adam, that early on, 2011, 2012, 2013, they were tight. They grew TPUSA like crazy. I was shocked to see her leave until being part of TPUSA. Her theories got just a little bit too down the rabbit holes. It was too extreme for their taste. And Charlie, to his credit, kept a cordial friendship with her for years. But it hasn't been a communication pipeline back and forth between the two for many years. That's why I don't know why we give Candace Owens' assessment any weight at all.
Because
all she's doing
we're
is-
reasonable. There's a lot of people.
but
I think she did a
people
tweet.
are.
There's 10 million people, 10 million views who trust Candace. At what point are we going to say?
That's exactly how I feel. Like this gentleman is saying that, not him. The other gentleman say that why is anybody even is acknowledging Candace Owens' words? Like her words should not be acknowledged. But exactly what he's about to say right now, that's how I feel. Like there is millions of people that follow Candace Owens. Millions of people that read that tweet that she tweeted out on September 13th. Millions of people. You could go look it up on X right now. If you have an X account, just go Google Candace Owens September 13th tweet that she referred to in her tweet about Charlie Kirk owing some powerful people. You could go Google it right now. This tweet has millions upon millions of people read that tweet. You know, that's why I'm like so curious now to like why, what's going on? Like what does she know that we don't know? But in reality, she knows nothing. She's just a manipulative person. That's all she is.
Candace gives opinions. Is the FBI? Is the CIA? Is anyone in the intelligence saying, we have credible evidence to find that Israel is at play here? Zero. This is Candace spouting on the internet. Right. And at one point are people going to be like, we just can't trust what she's saying. Last thing about Candace, and I look, every time I've hung out with Candace, I've enjoyed my time with Candace. I think she's cool. I think she's fun. I think she's gone down a deep, dark rabbit hole the last couple of years. That's my opinion. Her entire career, you can almost assess that it's Jews or very pro-Israel people that have put her on. And she slapped them all in the face. Dennis Prager, Dave Rubin, Charlie Kirk to an extent, Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire. They all gave her a platform. And then she just spits in all their face. And now none of them want anything to do with them. It's very reminiscent in a weird way of the U.S.-China relation. Who opened up?
And why is that? Why is that? He just named 4 to 5 people that actually helped this lady to become who she is right now. And at this point, none of those people want to have actually nothing to do with that woman. Why is that? It's just common sense. This woman is a manipulator. She gets people to do what she wants after manipulating their minds. She gets them to do what she wants, and after she gets what she needs, guess what? I could care less about you. That's how manipulative people act. That's why I said to you guys from the beginning, this is the type of person. Candace Owens is the type of person that will do anything, that will say anything, do and say whatever it takes to get the things that she is desiring. I'm telling you, manipulative people are like that. They will do and say whatever it takes. They will tell you they love you. They will tell you you're beautiful. Even in their heart, they know you're ugly. They will tell you, oh my God, I'll do this. They will tell you anything that it takes. They will do anything it takes to achieve their goals. But once they achieve their goals, it's a wrap. Now they're going to dismiss you because they no longer need you. That's how manipulative people work. But listen, every one of us as God kids, people could say they love God all they want. People could go to church every Sunday and say, oh yeah, I'm a godly person, I'm this and that. But one thing that I know for a fact, every one of God kids, every one of us, and it doesn't matter what color you are, we all God kids. Every one of God kids that are doing something right now to accomplish their goals by taking advantage of others, by manipulating others, by betraying others, by stepping over others. Any one of God kids that's doing anything bad in the eyes of God and his family to accomplish their goals, they will all, I'm not going to say, we will all have a price to pay sooner or later. And I'm talking in general. Any of God kids that are doing anything in this life that's bad to accomplish their goals, sooner or later, they are going to have to answer to God for what they have done wrong. We all have to answer for our wrongdoings in life. We all have to answer to God sooner or later for any and everything that we are doing bad in this world. Everything. Every single thing that we are doing bad, we will never get away with it. You might sit back and watch this and be like, yeah, I know a couple of people that, they're terrible people, but, they've been going, they've been making millions of dollars. They're a millionaire, they're living a great life. I'm telling you, man, anybody that that's a multi-millionaire, billionaire, that have that type of financial wealth, that financial gain, and they did bad to accomplish it, I could put my life on those words. They're not happy people. They're not happy people. Because when you do bad things to accomplish your goals in life, you're never ever going to live that comfortable lifestyle that you imagine in your head. You will get the money, you will get the success, but you will never be able to enjoy it. The stress that you have to deal with every single day, knowing what you have done to get what you have right now, the stress every night you go to sleep, the things that comes into your brain, knowing the amount of shortcuts you took, knowing the amount of people you stepped over, knowing the amount of people you betrayed to get to where you're at in life, the happiness will never be there. The money's in the account, the money's there, okay, but the happiness, you being happy every day, it's never going to happen. Karma comes back. And when it comes back in the worst ways. The worst ways. People like that, the gentleman just named 4 to 5 people that had friendship with Candace Owens, that helped her to get to where she's at right now. But guess what? None of these people wants absolutely nothing to do with this woman at all. Why is that? I'm telling you, bro. If you listen to this woman, watch this woman, I'm telling you, she's a master manipulator. You be careful, dude.
Up the China's role in the world and the World Trade Organization, wasn't it Richard Nixon? Didn't Bill Clinton open up a trade organization with China? And now China is our biggest competitor, and they basically spew anti-American rhetoric and try to tear down American hegemony around the world. At some point, you would say this, we've said this in the podcast, have a little respect for what America's done for you. But now China has no respect for America. They want to tear down America. That is very symbolic of what Candace is doing to Israel and the Jewish community.
Vinny.
I mean, I'm happy that you said it, and I think we said this once before. She doesn't hate Jewish people. She clearly doesn't like Bibi Netanyahu and what Israel does government-wise. I wouldn't ever put a blanket over it, but, and you guys know me, but in this situation, we have the guy, we have the suspect, we have his boyfriend, we have text messages, we have a video jumping off the roof, there's evidence, there's DNA, there's everything. So is the FBI lying to us? Like there has to be a line. And I thank you for the podcast, because my brain was going here, but you have to be able to come here and go, okay, this is happening here. This is how my feelings are right here. They have the guy. So unless people are saying, because let's strip it all down. If Israel's behind it, how did they do it? Show me, please. Give me the proof and I'll go, oh my God.
No, you don't, Vinny.
No, I want proof.
You're being way too logical.
No.
You don't need proof.
No, I have to have
Just
proof.
speculate on the internet.
No.
And throw it up on.
No, because like for instance, the 150 million, I want to see. Show me.
But the point is, the point is, there's not.
I don't. Well, that's why I have a hard time. That's why I have a hard time.
At some point, her credibility, is going to go down the tubes, because she needs to bring receipts. Bill Ackman brought receipts. How long was that tweet?
It's still going. I think
he was there in the
still reading
room.
it.
Andrew Colbert was there in the room. You're on the board of Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
2015,
Oh, wow.
2016.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
Not in many years.
Okay.
But
So let's,
you don't
without
have to
even
do this,
being
Adam.
biased,
There's a
is Candace even involved in Charlie Kirk's life?
No.
Well, to be fair in this situation, he said that she has not been in one of the events. She's not part of the organization no more. They didn't fire her once again, as I said it earlier, but she's no longer part of the organization. But last year, when I researched before I did this tonight, like he claimed that she hasn't been a part of the event for a long time, in years. But actually last year in 2024, she was on stage in one of the events. So just to clear that up, like I don't know if you didn't understand the question or whatever, but she was actually a part of one of the shows in 2024. Prior to 2024, when I was looking in, she hasn't done absolutely no shows prior to 2024. So in 2024, she actually was a part of one of the gathering or whatever they talk about in their organization. She was, just to be fair, and I just want to get that out of the way.
No question, proof that Candace Owens has nothing to do. She would be in a perfect world if they didn't have this, what I already know was a very quiet breakup where she got too rabbit hole for him. She would be the logical heir to the TPUSA throne, but she's
And
not.
now she's not even invited.
Correct. So this is
So
their divide is.
Wait a minute, not invited, meaning.
She's not even there.
Yeah, she's not
there.
one of the names.
What, you don't think she'll be at the funeral?
No.
That's not the funeral.
The heir to
Oh,
the
okay.
TPUSA throne.
She doesn't speak at the events anymore.
Erica.
That's a reason
Erica
for that.
Kirk.
What is Erica Kirk's relationship with Candace at
I
this
don't-
point?
I
Is there a
don't
relationship?
think so.
Why?
And the funeral, she never attended the funeral, because guess what she said about the funeral? She said, and that's her words, she claimed that she was being called left and right, message left and right from different people. What time are you going to show up? When you're showing up? Who you come? And that's her words. And she claimed that because of all of the interest in her going to the funeral, she got spooked. Because you know how she feels. She feels like the government has something to do with everything. So that's her words. She didn't attend the funeral. The president and all the president staff entered the funeral. She wasn't there because she claimed that she was not going to go because she was spooked, that too many people was trying to figure out what time she was going to get there, this, that. So she got spooked. Yes, sure. You're a manipulator. She just talk about things that's just to manipulate people's minds. She's just saying stuff like that to just for people to start thinking, oh, all of a sudden somebody's after Candace Owens. That's exactly what I get because she just made that statement right before the funeral. She came out and said that she's not going to go to the funeral because she's spooked. Too many people is trying to find out what time she's going to get there, or who she's like. She got spooked, so she's not going. So she's just, as a manipulative person that she is, she's trying to convince people now that she should be scared for her life after what she said in regards to Charlie Kirk's death. She's a master manipulator. Everything this woman say and do is just to get a reaction out of people. So she's talking about, oh, she's spooked, she's not going to go because too many people is trying to find out what time she's going to arrive. All that nonsense is just to paint another picture that, oh, I'm scared. All of a sudden, I'm scared to go out. I don't want to be around these people. They something is good. Like, stop it, Mo. This woman is a master manipulator, bro. Be careful with people like Candace Owens. I'm telling you guys. You don't have to believe me. I'm just a dude that you just seen on your stream recently. But I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I could read people. I studied the behavior of people for years. Looking into Candace Owens' stories, I could tell this woman is a master manipulator. Why did the people that actually helped you to get to where you at, they want absolutely nothing to do with you now? Why is that? This gentleman just named 4 to 5 people that actually helped her launch her career, helped her launch to become who she is. God is the ultimate assistant. God is the ultimate person that assists us to get to where we deserve to be at in life. God is the ultimate person that actually give us that hand up to help us achieve our goals. But there's also people that come in that God put into your life. God put people in our lives. Sometimes these people will last for a month, 2 months, 3 months. But if God puts someone in your life to help you grow, to become a better version of yourself, and for some reason you guys lost connection, let it be because you move out of state or you move to another country, or let it be because this person, they are married, they don't have the time no more, like they have kids now. Let it be something like that. But don't let it be someone who help you, who God put in your life to help you to achieve your goals. Don't let it be one of those situations that, oh man, after this person God put in your life helped you, you burn that bridge by just literally being a scum. You burn that bridge by being a scum. Don't let that happen, because guess what? Once again, you are going to feel the pain eventually. Because we don't get away with doing bad. We don't get away with doing bad, dude. We don't get away with people helping us and then we just turning back and spitting in the face. God put everybody in our lives for a reason. It's a purpose. It's a reason that God introduced you to this person. This person, you met that person. This person helped you to achieve your goals, to become a better version of yourself from here and forever. Be grateful. Be grateful to God for introducing you to that person first and foremost, and continue to be grateful to that person for taking the time out to help you, to assist you into becoming a better version of yourself. Not that woman, because she's a manipulator. She gets what she wants from people and then guess what? Cut them off her life.
Why do you not think so?
Because I live in this world.
Okay.
I live in
You know this world. Tell us.
I don't see them together. I think Candace has created a lane for herself.
Yeah.
It's her own lane. She wants to go after Macron's husband or wife or whatever you want to call it. She wants. I agree that I think it's cheap that she is sparking this up like she knows something between something happened between Ackman and Charlie. For what reason?
Here's what I would say. To me,
money.
To me, I think when I look
100% for money, of course.
I look at talent, I look at reason, then I look at if it's improving the situation in America or making it worse. Talent. You have dinner with Candace, you're with her, capable, great communicator. You put the camera on, she shines. Camera's on, she shines very well. And we've had her on with us at the Derby. We've spent time with her. She's been to our house multiple times. We've had dinner. Super capable person that we've had these conversations together with. Spent time with her husband, smart guy, good guy. They have a very good story together. You go to the other side on positions taking, okay? When you take the positions that you've taken on what you're saying. All right, is it for business purposes? It's obviously working. Our live stream was massive yesterday, bigger than anybody else's that took place. We had a live stream that we did on election night. We hit 282, 283, I don't know what the number was. Google told us it was the biggest
million, I
in concurrent. She hit 266 yesterday by herself. Listen, the numbers are the numbers, but it doesn't mean it's the right message. Hit 'em up, a rap song blew up. Does it mean it's a good song for everyone?
And that's the thing about that woman, Candace Owens. I'm going to leave it right there with Mr. Patrick Bet David saying that, is this all for business? 100%. This is a woman that don't care if she start a blaze. She don't care about who gets hurt in that blaze. At the end of the day, she's starting a blaze that's going to be profitable to her. That's it. It's all about business to this lady. This woman does not care. Honestly, she don't care about other people's feelings. She don't care about who she hurts to get what she wants to accomplish. She don't care. That woman, I'm telling you right now, and you could believe me or not, facts sooner or later is going to come out. Listen, the truth always comes out sooner or later. And you're going to realize that that woman is a master manipulator. A lot of things that that woman say and a lot of things that she's a part of is just throwing gasoline in a fire. She's just trying to get a blaze out of everything. This woman takes every story that's trending, every story it could be politics story, it could be whatever is trending that she takes. But she takes stories and she put a spin on the story. And the spinning on the story, to her, it doesn't matter if she has to lie to get her points across. It don't matter, because at the end of the day, this woman getting her point across is all she care about. She don't care if the honest truth of the story she's telling, the truth of the story that she's telling is not what she's saying. She doesn't care. She just want to convince millions of people her version of the story is the true story. It doesn't have to be, the story doesn't have to be the honest truth, but she just want to convince people that watch and follow her that her version is the honest to God true version. Knowing in her head it's a lie, but she doesn't care. It's all for the money. That's how manipulative people work. That's how manipulative people operate. They will manipulate others' brains to get what they want out of people. This woman sat at that live stream for over an hour and telling us how the government are lying about the Charlie Kirk death, that other people is involved. And she, to this day, she still has no proof. But yet people is watching this lady. You got to wake up. This woman is a manipulator, and she been a master manipulator for years. She been doing all of this stuff, manipulating people's minds for years. I'm not hating. I'm just telling you guys out there the honest truth about people like Candace Owens. Don't let this woman keep getting away with manipulating your mind. She has no proof. She never does. She went out and called the French president wife, a man, and she did all type of stuff trying to discover the surgery and all of that nonsense. For what? For money. That's for what? For money. She don't care. It comes down to it, like, she has no type of, no type of shame. She doesn't care who she hurts. It doesn't matter. You're a God-loving person. You're supposed to uplift people. I don't get people who say I love God. If you love God, but yet you're ripping people apart by saying certain things about them, and you love God, how? God wants us to love each other. God wants us to do what's right for each other. God doesn't want us to hurt each other to make money. Money is printed every day. Money is printed by every government all around the world, every single day. God wants us to be good to each other, not to rip each other apart, bro. Until the next stream, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys, wherever you're at in this world, I hope you have a good night. Hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good afternoon. So every and all God kids within the United States, may God bless us all. So every and all God kids all around the world, may God bless you guys all. So Mr. Patrick Bet David and the PBD podcast, I want to say thank you guys very much for the content. Thank you very, very, very much to Mr. Patrick Bet David. And ladies and gentlemen, please go out and support the PBD podcast. They're a very good bunch of guys. Incredible podcast. The stories is always good every day. Every time they're on live stream is always good. So check them out. To our great United States President, always, to our Commander-in-Chief, salute to you, sir, Mr. Donald J. Trump. God bless you and your family, sir. If you're in Washington, may God bless you and your family. Have a great night. May God watch over you and your family, sir, on this beautiful night and forever. Until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, please stay safe. Always love each other. And if you're honestly a godly person, you're going to know it's very important that you bring people up. You don't bring them down. You don't talk bad about others. You don't disrespect others to achieve your goals. You don't manipulate other people to achieve your goals. You don't step over people to achieve your goals. You don't take advantage of people's kindness to achieve your goals. You don't lie about others to achieve your if you're a godly, loving person, you know those things is a no-no. It's a no-no. Don't become a part of it because of money. Always keep your morals. Never lose your morals for nothing, especially money. Because you lose your morals for money, you lose everything that you have as a human being. Salute.